The film unfolds, presenting the commencement of a new academic term at a comprehensive school in London. Barbara Covett, a history teacher harboring a secret disdain for her students and fellow teachers, engages in daily journaling to express her feelings. Barbara's contempt deepens as she observes teachers attempting to connect with students, who, in turn, are becoming more adept at sneaking in drugs. During a meeting, the principal introduces Sheba Hart, a new art teacher. Barbara plays a role in diffusing a conflict in Sheba's class, where a boy named Stephen Connolly assaults another for making inappropriate remarks about Sheba. Following this incident, Sheba expresses gratitude to Barbara, marking the beginning of a friendship destined for disaster. As the story progresses, Barbara finds herself increasingly attracted to Sheba, captivated by her beauty and melodious voice. Subsequent scenes depict the growing bond between Barbara and Sheba as they become closer friends. At one point, Sheba invites Barbara for lunch at her place, an event that Barbara interprets as a significant affair, setting the stage for the unfolding events. In her efforts to impress, Barbara acquires new clothes and styles her hair before meeting Richard, Sheba's husband. However, her surprise turns to disdain upon discovering that Richard is nearly 2 decades older than his wife. Barbara harbors an immediate dislike for him. During this encounter, Barbara also meets Sheba's daughter, Polly, who is romantically involved with a boy from school. Barbara's idealized image of Sheba's perfect marriage and flawless family begins to crumble when she encounters Sheba's son, who has a disability. Throughout the meal, Barbara expresses disgust at every seemingly ordinary action of the family. Amidst her disapproval, Barbara clings to the romantic illusion she has crafted around Sheba. The illusion takes a hit when Barbara discovers Sheba receiving a secretive phone call, further challenging her perception of Sheba's seemingly perfect life. Despite her growing disdain for the family's actions, Barbara remains entangled in her romantic fantasies about Sheba, creating a complex and tension-filled dynamic within their evolving relationship. Sheba opens up to Barbara, revealing her art sanctuary in the shed and sharing the emotional toll of losing her father. Despite expressing contentment in her marriage with Richard, Sheba admits that it lacks a sense of purpose. Fatigue sets in as she reflects on the past decades spent caring for their son, Ben, who has a disability. Barbara, seemingly empathetic, slyly listens to Sheba's narrative, all the while driven by her selfish desires to grow closer to Sheba. Barbara's obsession escalates as she meticulously documents every aspect of Sheba's life, going so far as to post pictures and strands of Sheba's hair in her diary. During a school play, Barbara becomes uneasy when Sheba takes longer than expected to join her. Her curiosity leads her to discover Sheba in a classroom with 15-year-old Steve, the same boy involved in a recent fight. Feeling personally betrayed, Barbara grapples with the shock of the situation. Contemplating her next move, she decides to confront Sheba directly. The revelation adds a layer of tension to their relationship, setting the stage for the unfolding drama between Barbara and Sheba. Barbara urgently contacts Sheba, requesting a meeting to discuss Steve. During their conversation, Barbara accuses Sheba of engaging in an inappropriate relationship with an underage student and asks Sheba to explain the origins of the situation. Sheba recounts that it all began when Barbara reprimanded Steve for the fight. Sheba explains how Steve, through small gestures like scoring goals and displaying kindness, captured her attention. The situation escalated when Steve shared drawings he had created of her, inspiring Sheba to initiate extra lessons after school. Everything appears to be going smoothly until an unintentional moment occurs when Sheba accidentally ruffles Steve's hair. Recognizing the potential risks, Sheba decides to halt the additional classes. Despite her decision, Steve persists, eventually confessing that his father is abusive. Steve, unable to confide in his ailing mother, who is battling kidney disease with only a few months left unless she undergoes surgery, reveals his vulnerability. Touched by the boy's situation, Sheba decides to meet him that night at a bridge, marking a crucial turning point in the unfolding narrative. Their meeting becomes personal, marking the beginning of a series of encounters. Barbara is taken aback, finding it hard to believe that Sheba would engage in such behavior. Sheba, in turn, expresses guilt, revealing that she felt a sense of need with Steve. Sheba confesses that she had considered telling Barbara about the affair but refrained, fearing it would place her dear friend in an impossible situation. Seeking understanding, Sheba asks Barbara not to reveal the secret until after Christmas, as she wishes to spend the holidays with her family. Barbara, seizing the opportunity to grow closer to Sheba, agrees not to disclose the affair on the condition that Sheba ends things with the young boy immediately. Barbara's ulterior motive becomes clear, using this agreement as a way to emotionally connect with Sheba and develop a deeper bond. Returning home, Sheba discovers that Polly's boyfriend cannot join the family for the Christmas celebrations, adding another layer of complexity to the unfolding events. Barbara shares with Sheba that Polly has developed a strong attraction to her boyfriend, indicating Barbara's overall disapproval of some individuals in Sheba's life. Despite these tensions, Barbara decides to join her sister for the Christmas celebrations. During the festive occasion, Barbara's sister inquires about a younger teacher named Jennifer, someone Barbara used to be close to. Barbara, feigning disinterest, explains that Jennifer fell ill and later changed schools. Meanwhile, Sheba remains committed to ending her relationship with Steve. However, during the holiday season, the younger boy approaches Sheba at her home. Despite her determination, Sheba finds herself unable to proceed with the breakup and eventually begins dating the younger boy after Steve departs. Sheba's emotional breakdown reveals her inner conflict as she grapples with guilt for her actions. Despite the remorse, the allure of the situation proves irresistible, adding complexity to the ongoing narrative. Meanwhile, Barbara's sister asks her if there is someone after Jennifer, implying that Barbara might be interested in someone romantically. Sheba gives Barbara a picture frame as a gift for the holidays, and as usual, Barbara interprets this gesture in her way. Sheba continues her secretive relationship but keeps it well hidden. However, she occasionally meets up with Steve at her art space. Barbara's beloved cat falls ill, deeply affecting her as she had grown very attached to it. The vet delivers the unfortunate news that the cat has only a few weeks to live, and Barbara takes her concerns to Sheba. Barbara seizes the opportunity to ask Sheba for support in uplifting her mood, proposing that they engage in an activity they used to do together at her former school. Barbara, seeking a more personal connection, requests that Sheba stretch her arms. In the midst of this, Barbara starts stroking Sheba, attempting to kindle a deeper emotional bond between them. However, Sheba senses that the gesture might carry unintended implications, prompting her to ask Barbara to leave. Initially reluctant, Barbara acquiesces when she observes someone climbing over Sheba's garden and entering her house. Alarmed by this intrusion, Barbara urges Sheba to call the police, expressing concern for her safety. Sheba, however, dismisses the possibility, suggesting it might be the neighbor's child. The air is tense, and uncertainty looms. As the situation unfolds, Sheba's phone rings, interrupting the escalating tension. Seizing the opportunity to exit discreetly, Barbara makes a swift departure. In this critical moment, Barbara realizes with a sinking feeling that Sheba is still entangled in an affair with Steve. A sense of betrayal washes over Barbara, and in disbelief, she storms out of the scene, leaving behind a lingering sense of tension and unresolved emotions. Sheba, feeling a sense of urgency, follows Barbara, attempting to explain the complexities of her situation. She confesses that she tried to end things with Steve but found it challenging. Barbara, unmoved, asserts that Steve is using Sheba to fulfill his fantasies and predicts that he will eventually end the relationship when things become heated due to Sheba's age. In a heated exchange, Barbara resorts to a threat, stating that if Sheba does not terminate the relationship, she will reveal the affair to Richard. Undeterred, Sheba takes the risk and goes to Steve's house. There, she encounters Steve's father, who turns out to be nothing like the vicious man Steve portrays him as. However, the revelation of the affair reaches Steve, and to Sheba's dismay, he decides to end their relationship. Steve confesses that he created the stories of kidney issues and abuse to make their affair more exciting, emphasizing that he wanted to have fun. The truth unfolds, leaving Sheba grappling with the consequences of her actions and the realization that Steve's intentions were not as genuine as she believed. Sheba, devastated by the fallout with Steve, turns to Barbara for comfort. Over the following days, Barbara appears content, finding a strange satisfaction in Sheba's anguish. While Sheba's betrayal may have wounded Barbara more than she reveals, Barbara sees this misfortune as a catalyst that brings her and Sheba closer together. In her mind, this could be the opportunity she has longed for. Barbara decides to take Sheba to a specific spot overlooking the city, where she opens up about Jennifer. She confesses that Jennifer suffered from depression, sharing a vulnerable aspect of her past. Barbara's revelation hints at the depth of her struggles and suggests that she sees this moment as a chance for a genuine connection with Sheba, despite the complexities of their relationship. Sheba listens to Barbara's story, unaware of Barbara's manipulations. The illusion shatters when Barbara learns her cat is to be put down. Advised to return for final goodbyes, Barbara visits Sheba, intending to bring her along. However, Sheba and her family are heading to Ben's school for a play. Sheba, unable to abandon her son, chooses to go with her family. Barbara, feeling betrayed, experiences a rage that knows no reason after burying her cat. Later, Barbara is in her house, relishing the perceived betrayal by Sheba. To her surprise, there's a knock at her door, and it's Brian, a colleague with a shared interest in Sheba. Barbara, trying to maintain a facade, asserts that Sheba doesn't confide her intimate life with her but reveals the rumors about Sheba's engagement with Steve. This unintentional disclosure hints at a side of Barbara that contradicts the kind-hearted image she projected. After Brian departs, Sheba calls, inviting Barbara over for dinner. The invitation adds a layer of complexity to their relationship, as Sheba remains unaware of Barbara's knowledge about her personal life. The stage is set for a potentially revealing and emotionally charged dinner between the two, as underlying tensions and hidden agendas come to the forefront. Barbara finds herself at Sheba's house when an intense pounding on the door interrupts their evening. To her surprise, Steve's mother storms in, launching a verbal attack on Sheba for what she perceives as harm inflicted upon her child. The chaotic scene draws in Polly and Ben, further escalating the situation. The fallout extends to Sheba's relationship with Richard, creating tension and turmoil within the household. Barbara, positioned on the sidelines, observes the tumultuous events unfolding before her. Despite her earlier denial of knowledge regarding the affair, her carefully constructed ruse begins to unravel. The revelation comes when the principal discloses that he knows about Jennifer, unraveling a darker aspect of Barbara's past. Jennifer had filed a restraining order against Barbara for stalking her and her fiancé. Faced with this revelation, Barbara agrees to resign from her position. In the aftermath, Barbara aligns herself with Sheba, who is grappling with sadness, believing that Steve had disclosed the affair to his mother during the argument with Richard. Distancing herself from her previous life, Sheba moves out and starts living with Barbara, setting the stage for a new chapter in their complex relationship. Barbara spends a month living with Sheba, considering it the best time of her life. Despite her temptations, Barbara expresses patience, refraining from acting on her desires. The scandal becomes widespread, attracting journalists who camp outside Barbara's house. One day, while Barbara is at the market, Sheba discovers a trail of golden stars and a torn piece of diary paper in the trash. Rummaging through the house, Sheba finds the diary, revealing that Barbara was the one who exposed the affair. Enraged, Sheba confronts Barbara upon her return, realizing the extent of Barbara's manipulation. Sheba decides to end the toxic relationship, but the media overwhelm her. Barbara intervenes, saving Sheba from the onslaught. Despite Barbara's rescue, Sheba breaks free from the toxic dynamics with Barbara and returns home. A newspaper article reveals that Sheba receives a 10-month jail sentence but hints at a possible reconciliation with her family. Meanwhile, Barbara encounters a young woman at the familiar spot overlooking the city, befriending her and inviting her to a concert. The film concludes with a sense of uncertainty, leaving the audience to speculate on the intentions and dynamics of the new relationship.